Okay, here we go. So we had a couple of interesting stories with the White Sox this past week. We had this one from Ken Rosenthal and Dennis Lin of The Athletic saying the Padres are showing strong interest in Garrett Crochet. We also had Jeff Passan come out and say that the White Sox are basically open for business, and guys like Garrett Crochet, Luis Robert, Eric Fetty, anyone else that breathes on the White Sox roster is available. Now, with Garrett Crochet, it's no surprise that teams would be interested in him. I mean, my goodness, this guy is having a phenomenal year so far in his first year as a starter in the major leagues. 13 starts, ERA at a 3.49, FIP at a 2.88, already has a 2.0 Fangraph WAR, 12 strikeouts per 9, under 2 walks per 9. I mean, that is a great strikeout to walk ratio. So yeah, teams should be interested in Garrett Crochet. Now, I could definitely see some White Sox fans out there saying, absolutely not, we need to keep Garrett Crochet. This is a guy that we should be building around. And I agree. I think the White Sox should hang on to Garrett Crochet, try and get this guy extended, and build the rotation around him. This guy is really broken out this year. I would love for the White Sox to hang on to him, but if they get an offer that is just too good to pass up, and if they're rebuilding anyway, you might want to do it if you're the White Sox, if you're going to get back some good pieces for the future. So in this video, I'm going to come up with 5 trades for Garrett Crochet, and in another video, I'll do Luis Robert, so be on the lookout for that one as well. But 5 trades for Garrett Crochet. Let's get to it. Before we get to the trades, let's go over Garrett Crochet's trade value on baseballtradevalues.com. As of right now, the median value is $56.5 million. It could go as low at around $45 million or as high at around $68 million. So yeah, he's going to cost you something. Why? Well, he's good, first and foremost. I think we all agree on that. But he also has a lot of control. He's not going to be a free agent until after the 2026 season. So you're going to have him for the rest of this year, next year, and the year after that. So yeah, for starting pitching, of course, it's always going to be expensive, so that's what's going to drive his value up as well, combined with the fact that he's good, he's under control, and he's not making that much money, so you have to factor that in as well. So yeah, for Garrett Crochet, it's going to cost you a pretty package. So since it was reported the Padres had strong interest in Crochet, let's start with them. As of right now, they're 32-32. They have the second wild card spot as we speak. Their starting pitching has been pretty decent this year, 13th overall in Fangraph WAR, ERA at a 4.00, FIP at a 3.93, 9 strikeouts per 9, just under 3 walks per 9, a little over a home run per 9. Pretty solid for the most part. However, the problem with the rotation lately is they've been getting dinged up with injuries. Yu Darvish has been up and down with the injuries this year. Joe Musgrove, he's having some problems with the arm recently. They just had to call up Adam Mazur from the minor leagues. Now, Dylan Cease, Michael King, Matt Waldron, they've been pretty decent for the most part, but I can understand why the Padres would want to make an upgrade to this rotation, especially when you don't really know what's going on with Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove. How are they going to be with their durability for the rest of the year? And remember, the Padres, they traded for Dylan Cease, so they have that familiarity with the Chicago White Sox. However, the thing that I wonder about with the Padres is, are they going to have enough to get a deal done? The trade that I put together might be a bit underwhelming for the White Sox. The deal that I have is Garrett Crochet going to the Padres and back to the White Sox. We got Robbie Snelling, Graham Pauley, Eggy Rosario, and Adam Mazur. If we take a look at their rankings in the Padres system, Robbie Snelling is number 2, Mazur is number 5, Graham Pauley is number 6, and Eggy Rosario was number 8 last year. But I don't think that's going to be enough to get a deal done. When you take a look at these values here, you know, Graham Pauley could be a decent third baseman down the road. He's having a bit of a down year this year. The minor league numbers are a little down, but he could be pretty decent. You know, Eggy Rosario hasn't shown too much at the major league level, and Adam Mazur, you know, he could be decent, but probably has the ceiling of a mid-rotation guy, or he could just be, you know, just some organizational depth, if anything. Now, Robbie Snelling is the top piece here. He is a top 100 prospect, but even he's having a down year in the minor leagues. So I think for the Padres, they would have to include more than this. Now, you got a couple of other guys here. You know, maybe they're going to have to put in Dylan Lesko in this deal, where if you get Snelling and Lesko in this deal, that would be a huge get for them. Those two are both in the top 100. And then, you know, maybe they might have to include someone like a Leo DeVries, you know, top international prospect not too long ago that they just signed. But I don't know if the Padres would even want to give him up. Most likely, quickly, I would think for the Padres is they're probably going to have to upgrade Adam Mazur, to probably someone like Dylan Lesko. I would think you would have to probably, something along those lines, or Snelling and Lesko, maybe even just those two you could send back for Garrett Crochet, maybe throw in one more little piece. But I think for the Padres, unless they're willing to give up Snelling and Lesko, or maybe DeVries as well, I don't know if they're going to be able to get a deal done. How about the Milwaukee Brewers? Now, the Brewers' offense has been great this year. 4th overall in offense on Fangraphs, but when it comes to the starting pitching, they could definitely use a boost. They're 27th overall in starting pitching Fangraph WAR, ERA at a 4.10, but the FIP is higher at a 4.47. Strikeouts, they definitely could use a boost too. 8 strikeouts per 9, a little over 3 walks per 9, a little over a home run per 9. So they could definitely use something in this rotation, and they've been dealing with a lot of injuries in this rotation, right? You got Freddie Peralta here. You're still rolling with Bryce Wilson, Colin Rea, Aaron Ashby, but look at all these injuries they've had. Robert Gasser, they called up recently. He's got something going on with his arm. DL Hall, he's been dealing with a knee issue all year. Remember, they brought in Jacob Junis in the offseason. He's dealing with some shoulder stuff. Wade Miley, Tommy John, Joe Ross, he's been dealing with the back. Woodruff obviously is out for this year. So, yeah, I think someone like Garrett Crochet could be a great boost for this rotation. And hey, if you go to the playoffs with Freddie Peralta and Garrett Crochet, that is an awesome 1-2 punch if you ask me. Now, I just wonder with the Brewers, will they be willing to give up a big enough piece to get a deal done? Would they even want to do a deal? I don't know. That's another thing with the Brewers. Would they even want to give up prospects to get someone like Crochet? But if they really wanted to, I think they could. So the deal I have is Garrett Crochet going to the Brewers. Going back to the White Sox, we got Jacob Misarowski, Tyler Black, and Luis Lara. As of right now, Misarowski is their number 1 overall prospect, one of the top pitching prospects in the game. Really just came out of nowhere in the last couple of years. I mean, he's having a great year so far. 10 starts, 2.52 on the ERA. He's got 54 strikeouts in 39 and a third innings. I mean, this guy's got nasty stuff. Big fastball, big slider as well, big curveball to go along with it. So this would be an awesome prospect for the White Sox to get back. But again, would the Brewers be willing to give up their number 1 prospect to get someone like Garrett Crochet? And then we got Tyler Black. As of right now, he's more likely going to be a first baseman, an unorthodox first baseman. Not a lot of power from him. Definitely gets on base, but usually with first baseman, you're looking for a bit more power. Now, they do have someone like Brock Wilken, who's a power guy who could eventually be their first baseman, so you do have that insurance there. And then Luis Lara, very far away, good hit tool, very athletic. This could be a nice package for the White Sox to get back here. But again, would the Brewers be willing to do this? I'm not sure. Let's stay in the NL Central and talk about the St. Louis Cardinals. They got off to a bit of a rough start, but they've played better as of late. Right now, they're 29 and 31, but they're only a half game back in this wild card race. They could definitely use a boost in this starting rotation. Only 24th overall in Fangraph WAR with the starting pitching. Only a 4.37 ERA. FIP a little bit lower at a 4.26. 8 strikeouts per 9, 3 walks per 9, 1.25 home runs per 9. So I think they could use a boost here. Now, you got Sonny Gray. He's having a great year. He's been an awesome pickup for them. Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, they've been pretty decent for the most part. Andre Piante, they did just put him in this rotation. Let's see how that goes. Miles Michaelis hasn't really been amazing. You got Steven Matz on the IL right now. People are hoping for a bit of a bounce back year from him, but he hasn't really done anything great. So someone like Garrett Crochet would be awesome. Could you imagine the Cardinals making it to the postseason? You got a 1-2 punch of Sonny Gray and Garrett Crochet, and then you got, veteran guys like Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson behind them. I think that would be a really nice addition for this rotation. Now, for the Cardinals, they got some prospects they could deal, but not sure if they're going to want to part with some of these guys I have listed. So I have Garrett Crochet going to the Cardinals, back to the White Sox. We got starting pitcher Tig Hentz. We got Takeo Roby and Victor Scott. When it comes to the rankings, Tig Hentz is the number 1 prospect as of right now, having himself a good year in the minor leagues. 11 starts, a 3.19 ERA. Victor Scott, remember, he started the year with the Cardinals, ended up getting sent back down, but this is a guy with a lot of potential. Taking a look here at the tools, he's got a 55 hit, but he's got an 80 run. So the fact that, this guy can do a lot of things with the bat, but he's got a ton of athleticism and a ton of speed. This could be an everyday center fielder for the White Sox down the road. And with Victor Scott and the Cardinals, if they were to part with him, you do got Chase Davis, who they drafted last year, a bit of insurance there for their outfield prospects, and they got another draft coming up here soon, so maybe they could add someone like Braden Montgomery in that first round. Either way, I could see Victor Scott maybe being a piece in a deal. And then the last piece I have is Tekoa Roby. Remember, they got him last year in a trade. He's the number 4 prospect as of right now. If the Cardinals did not want to part with their number 1 prospect, Hank Hens, maybe you could swap some guys in and out. You got some other pictures here like Cooper Jerpy. You got Gordon Graceffo. You got some pieces here. Maybe the Cardinals could work something out. I would imagine the White Sox would want at least Tink Hence in this deal, but I think the Cardinals could be an awesome landing spot for Garrett Crochet. How about Garrett Crochet to the Philadelphia Phillies? As of right now, the Phillies are tied with the Yankees for the best record in Major League Baseball with a record of 44-19. They're also first overall in starting pitching Fangraph WAR. So you might be asking, Robbie, why would the Phillies want to add Garrett Crochet when their starting pitching is already very good? This team is already very good. Why would they want to do this? Well, hey, you know what? When you got a strength, why not just add to it? When you look at this rotation, it is very good. Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, one of the best 1-2 punches in baseball. Ranger Suarez, Christopher Sanchez, they have stepped up in a big way this year. Now, Taijuan Walker, you could definitely make an upgrade there if you wanted to. He is not pitching very well for the Phillies this year, has not been a very good contract overall. So you could make an upgrade there, but you could also get creative with Garrett Crochet as well. Now, you got to remember, this is his first year being a starter. He's at 69 2/3 innings pitched. That's the most innings he has thrown in Major League Baseball in his career. So I would imagine there's going to be some kind of an innings limit at some point. So maybe if you're approaching that innings limit, you could put Crochet in the bullpen. And I'm just saying, when you put someone like Garrett Crochet at the back end of this bullpen, you got another weapon back there for the postseason. I think that sounds pretty good if you ask me. I think the Phillies would be an awesome team for Garrett Crochet, and they're looking really good this year. They're really going for that World Series. Garrett Crochet could be that checkmate kind of a piece. And we all know Dave Dombrowski. He's dealing Dave. He likes to go out there and make a move, and I think if he has the opportunity to make a move like this, I could see him doing it. So here is the deal that I have. Garrett Crochet to the Phillies, back to the White Sox. We got Mick Abel, Justin Crawford, Starlin Caba, and Alex McFarland. If we take a look here, Mick Abel is their number 3. Justin Crawford is the number 4. Starlin Caba is their number 5, and then we got Alex McFarland is their number 14. Now, this would be a pretty hefty package. We've seen Dave Dombrowski get aggressive before. Now, Mick Abel, the problem with Mick Abel is he has good stuff. The problem with Mick Abel, he just hasn't found his way. He's had trouble with command. He walks a lot of guys. So, maybe Mick Abel going to a new organization could be, just a fresh start for him, get a new voice in his ear. Maybe the White Sox can do better with him. Now, Justin Crawford, this would be a pretty hefty piece to give up. This guy is very athletic, just like his dad, Carl Crawford. Great hit tool, 75 on the run tool. Are you kidding me? This is an everyday center fielder, but with the Phillies, you got Johan Rojas already there. And, they've seemed to have really bought into Johan Rojas as their everyday guy. He's just an excellent defender out there, not much with the bat. But if that is your center fielder for the foreseeable future, maybe someone like Justin Crawford could be expendable. And then someone like Starlin Caba, he was an international signing just last year. There's a lot of upside with him, very athletic, good hit tool. But this could be a nice piece for the White Sox to get back in their organization too. And then I have someone like Alex McFarland. He's having a pretty decent year in the minor leagues. Big fastball with him. Not having a great season down in the minors. A 5.72 ERA last year. Hasn't really done all that. He hasn't even pitched this year in the minors. He's dealing with an injury right now. But this could be maybe a decent package for the White Sox to get back. I could see some White Sox fans thinking this is probably a bit underwhelming. Mick Abel with the year that he's having, maybe that's not, a great picture to get back in return. But guys like Justin Crawford, Starlin Caba, those could be nice pieces for the White Sox to get back. But I would love for the Phillies to get Garrett Crochet. And how fitting would that be? Dave Dombrowski traded for a big-time left lefty from the White Sox years back when he was with the Red Sox with Chris Sale. Could he do it again with Garrett Crochet? And last but not least, how about Garrett Crochet to the Baltimore Orioles? The Orioles are once again having a great season, 39-21. They're second in the AL East, 3.5 back behind the Yankees. They have a wild card spot as of right now. I think Garrett Crochet would be an awesome addition for the Baltimore Orioles. And remember, they just got some news recently that John Means is going to be needing Tommy John. He's going to be out for the year. So someone like Crochet can definitely bring a boost to this rotation. I mean, it's already a good rotation. Corbin Burns having another great year. Kyle Bradish, Grayson Rodriguez in here, but could you imagine Garrett Crochet with these guys? I mean, my goodness, that would be amazing. And then remember what I said with the Phillies. If there is an innings limit for Garrett Crochet, you could, like I said with the Phillies, put him in the bullpen here. Craig Kimbrell, he had a pretty rough start to the year. Looks like he's gotten himself right recently, but you know how it is with Craig Kimbrell. The guy, he gives me heart attacks in the postseason. So, that could be another option for the bullpen, especially a bullpen that doesn't have Felix Bautista. So if it came to that point, Crochet, coming out of the bullpen as a weapon in the postseason, that could be great. And one other thing with the Orioles is they have a lot of prospects, and they could definitely get a deal done if they wanted to. So the deal that I have here is Garrett Crochet to the Orioles, and we got Coby Mayo, Dylan Beavers, and Chase McDermott going to the White Sox. Coby Mayo obviously leading the way here. He's having a great year in the minor leagues. I mean, he is basically ready to go, hitting .291 with a .964 OPS so far this year. Dylan Beavers is also in this deal, number 7 prospect. And then Chase McDermott, number 8 in their system as well, their top pitching prospect. Now, when it comes to, why I picked Coby Mayo, I mean, you got a ton of other prospects here, right? Guys like Heston Kjerstad, you got Connor Norby. But when I'm thinking of Orioles prospects, I think they're going to want to hang on to as many of the outfield prospects as they can. Because you got to remember, Cedric Mullins, Anthony Santander, Austin Hayes, they're coming up on free agency soon. So they're going to want to try and hang on to their best outfield prospects. So I have them hanging on to Heston Kjerstad, Enrique Bradfield Jr., and they already have Colton Cowser. So I think that's going to be their next outfield. So I think someone like Dylan Beavers could be expendable. And don't forget, they have Connor Norby too. So they got plenty of guys. So I think Dylan Beavers could be a piece they could part with. And, Coby Mayo with him, yeah, that would be a big piece to give up. But you do got someone like Samuel Basallo who has really emerged in the last couple of years. So at least he would be some insurance that could be a first baseman down the road for the Orioles. So Coby Mayo, that would be a huge bat for the White Sox to get back in this deal. But as always, maybe you could take him out, maybe swap some other guys in. Either way, the Orioles, they have plenty of beef to get a deal done here if they really wanted to. I think this would be awesome for the Orioles. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Did you like any of these trades? Did you hate these trades? Let me know. Let me know your trade proposals down below in the comments. Which teams do you think would be a good fit for Garrett Crochet if he were to be traded? Do you think the White Sox should even trade Garrett Crochet? Let me know what you think. But that's all I got for this video. If you can on the way out, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.